Hey, welcome back YouTube to more MSQ playthrough. We are in Dawntrail and man, does it feel good. It's been a couple of days since I've had off from MSQ, so we're gonna get back into it and I'm excited. We grabbed the Aether Current that was in the background and here we are with Mablu. Well done recognizing that toolmaker as a potential customer. If you've a mind to change professions, you'd make an excellent merchant. Before we get moving, you should be the one to hold this. With that, I suppose we should hop on the alpacas Mablu has so kindly provided. Ready to go? Let's mount up. And it's off to the mate fields we go. Please don't spit, please don't spit. You'll be fine. These ones are accustomed to people. I still don't trust them. You have a knack for riding, no matter what you say. Without our alpaca friends, we probably would never have become traveling merchants. Can you imagine walking all the way across Toral? I swear that mountain is too tall to be real. Warkorzomor, wasn't that the name? A forbidding sight, isn't it? One I've never appreciated up close. You have to take the long way around the cliffs to get there, to the highlands belonging to the Yakui. So, Mablu, you said you were learning about the peddler profession. You don't care for ranch work? No, I love it. I love working with alpacas. But becoming a peddler has always been a dream of mine. It's just, I'm not sure I have a talent for it. If I can help you buy the taming saddle though, then it'd be proof that I can do this after all. In that case, you'd best get ready to be a merchant. Look, we're almost there. Is that not a cactar? It's just not a cactar? Oh man. It's hysterical. We made it, and without a single smelly incident. I sent the alpacas back to Ikuvlo's men. Ikuvlo's inn, so we'll walk along the main road when we return to the village. Speaking of roads to travel, you were adopted by the Dawn servant, weren't you, Third Promise? That I was. Then perhaps you understand. I was an orphan too, you see. Tobli took me in. He took in all the ranch hands, actually. All of them. Yes, and everyone works hard at their chores, grateful for the opportunity to repay the head ledger's generosity. Yet here I am, the only one wanting to go off and be a merchant. I'm sorry, I didn't know why I'm telling you this. We need to keep trading things for your saddle if you're to prepare for the feat of gold. As it's mate harvesting season, they can't have too many quality hatchets. Add that to Lamat's way with people, and we should have no trouble making a favorable deal. That's Miplu herself over there. Pass the hatchet to the Third Promise, and let's get to bargaining. Wait, take this hatchet, girl. You have that little axe for me. Thanks. Now to see what we can get for it. You're Miplu, the owner of these fields? I have a mind to trade, if you're interested. Well, the Third Promise. I might be convinced to entertain a proposal. What do you have on offer? This hatchet, forged by a seasoned artisan, the razor edge of this exceptional tool will make light work of your crops. The quality is acceptable, I suppose. I offer you a large sack of mate leaves in exchange. A sack of mate leaves is valued at 1 pal in the thousands column, the same price as the hatchet. This deal would bring us no closer to the mescal. If I may, Mistress Miplu, it's harvesting season, is it not? Does not the demand for hatchets afford them a higher value? It is indeed the season, which is why I procured an ample batch of tools well in advance. We've missed the window for demand. In that case, we'll have to fall back on connections. Think of it this way. A generous deal here will put you in the Third Promise's good graces. Surely that's worthy of consideration. I do not wish to give offense, but I must tell you that I stand with the Second Promise. His innovations will improve every aspect of our lives, I believe, including farming, and I will no longer have need of hatchets. I assure you that I have nothing but respect for Lamat. That is why I am prepared to purchase a spare hatchet at a fair price. I suppose it is fair, given your reasons, but we ourselves would be no better off for the transaction. How about this, then? If we were to help bring in your harvest, would you give us a better deal? As a matter of fact, I would. Until Kona's reforms come about, I can always use more hands in the fields, and you can go ahead and add our labor to the bargain. Added value to tip the scales. How could I have forgotten one of the most basic rules of trading? You can rest here if you like, Mablu. MSQ and I have mate to gather. Oh no, I'm helping too. Off to the fields then, and mind you pick the healthy leaves. I'll take 5 good bundles from each of you. I'm like constantly leaning forward this entire expansion because everything's so fresh and new. Let me sit back and kick back and enjoy. You've brought me some leaves then. An acceptable harvest. We'll see how your companions fared before I make any decisions, though. Here, we've brought our share as well. Thank you, Third Promise. This is more than enough to hold up your end of the bargain. Now it's time to honor mine. After adding the value of your labor to the price of the hatchet, I am prepared to offer you a full sack of our highest grade mate leaves. Premium mate! Bought at the shop. 1 sack of these leaves would cost no more than 5 pal in the thousands column. Then we can bid farewell to this hatchet. I'll give it a good home. Talk of the contest aside, I'm glad we could come to a mutually agreeable trade. As am I. All the best with the rest of your harvest. So one thing I always try to add with Lamat is this sort of air of positivity and like upliftment. She always, whenever she speaks, she seems so like thrilled to do anything and everything that she's doing. Like even when she's like in discomfort, she's, you know, she's so has this sort of very bright and bouncy vibe to her. Mablu, what's wrong? It's as I was saying before. Even after everything Tobli's done for me, I'm planning to abandon it all and become a merchant. But then I needed your help after forgetting a basic rule of trade. How can I expect Tobli to accept my decision then? Have you mentioned your plans to leave? Not exactly. I wanted to prove I could succeed as a peddler before I declared my intentions. I seek to follow in my father's footsteps, but not because he expects it of me. I want to preserve Tural's peace, and becoming Dawnservant happens to be the best way to do it. You should live a life of your own choosing, and I wouldn't be surprised if Tobli held the same opinion, so talk to him. You're right. It's better to find out for sure than worry over what he might say. Thank you for the advice. But first, we have a saddle to buy. I want that success under my belt so I can be sure of my decision. What's next then? We try to trade our tea leaves for something halfway to 10,000 pel? No, I think we're close enough now. I say we go straight for the premium mezcal. Bargain our way into double the value. Think you can do it? Trust me, I will make this trade work. I admire you, Third Promise. That you're holding your own against such strong competition for the throne is inspiring. Am I really holding my own against Kona and Zoralja? I mean, of course I am. I am Wook Lamat of the Dawn's Promise, after all. Excellent trade. 5,000 pel. Nice. Success. You traded a 1,000 pel hatchet for a 5,000 pel sack of top grade mate leaves. I like the little excellent trade thing that they got going on. Before we go, let me give you the mate leaves. I don't need to risk proving Erenville's point. Ready then. Our next stop is the Mezcal Distillery. Are we taking alpacas? Or are we walking? I believe we're walking. Where are we walking to? All the way back there. Oh. And I forgot I could just teleport. We'll want to speak with a man by the name of Gobli. Even among his fellow distillers, he's regarded as a master of the craft. He knows the value of his product, so if we're to convince him to trade for twice what the leaves are worth, we're going to need to targeted information. That means asking around and taking in the gossip. If you could talk to people here in the distillery, Amask, perhaps Wuklamad could do the same at the village entrance. Meanwhile, I'll head to the north side and see what I can learn. Me, I'm a chef from Tuliolal. I often come here to buy Gobli's mezcal, the finest in Tural, according to my customers. He always brings out a jug during our dealings, but I can't handle the stuff too well myself. I take small sips, not wanting to be impolite, you understand, but still end up so saddled as to agree to whatever price he quotes me. It would be nice to have less, potent refreshments during such conversations, else I might have to seriously reconsider our arrangement. Gobli might be a deft hand at distilling, but he's got no sense when it comes to appearances. Rumor has it he's been invited to the palace for business negotiations. If he presents himself to the court wearing his usual rumpled attire, though, he'll be laughed out of Sunperch. There's not much I can say about Gobli, but I can tell you what Gobli's been saying. The other day, he was muttering about monsters prowling around Agave Jaws. That's the field where they gather ingredients for the mezcal. Their presence has made it harder to procure said ingredients, and thus driven up the prices of his product. A boon, some might argue, but it's hard to celebrate when it affects the work as it does. Can't rightly bring joy to people if you can't keep making the thing they love. So, what did you find out? Oh, so we can make use of all those tidbits. The deal is as good as sealed. As for me, I found out where Gobli is working. There's a millstone at the top of the slope behind the distillery. You go on ahead and I'll bring Wilk Lamat. Behind the distillery, you say? You have business with me, sir. Why don't we talk down below so as to not to distract the alpaca from his work? And again, I'm leaning way forward. Alright, sitting back. Now, what's this about? Keep it brief, if you would. I'm a busy man. We're in the market for a 3-year-old jug of premium mezcal, assuming you have any on hand, that is. Ah, an excellent choice. I must warn you, though, it doesn't come cheap. We don't have Pel, but we can offer a sack of mate leaves in exchange. It's top-grade stuff, like the mezcal. No deal. Mate leaves are well and good, but I don't have any use for them. No deal? Just like that? Still, I'd hate to send you away empty-handed. Why don't we sit and chat a while over a cup of mezcal? Now the real bargaining begins. Which of our cards do you want to play first? Let's do the monsters in the agave fields. Let's hold on to that one. We need to consider our timing. Okay, well then let's do his invitation to the palace. Let's hold on to that one. We need to consider our wait, what? Why wasn't even a choice? Shit. The Hubigo's chef's distaste for strong drink. Jesus. I appreciate your hospitality, but I'm afraid I can't hold my drink. I've heard one of your regular customers, a Hubigo chef, is the same. Seeing as not everyone can enjoy a mezcal, I wonder if you might benefit from having other refreshments to offer. Something like mate tea, for instance, and brewed from the finest leaves, of course. Oh, you're right. Absolutely right. I had noticed a growing reluctance on the part of my Hubigo friend, but did not realize I myself was to blame. I must endeavor to be a better host. Still, even with that added value in mind, no sack of leaves is worth the mezcal you're after. Should we offer to call the monsters causing them trouble? Not yet. We'll keep that card up our sleeve until we need it. As I expect you're aware, the rite of succession is currently taking place. That's why the third promise has graced us with her presence. When the contest is decided, the subsequent ascension ceremony and banquet will be a prestigious affair. If your mezcal were to be served there, it would bring your distillery immeasurable fame. Wait, could it be that your rumored invitation to the palace is to discuss that very possibility? As a matter of fact, yes, I must admit. I'm still reeling from the abruptness of it all. It would be a great honor and opportunity, if I can secure the deal. Well, I should think your exceptional mezcal would speak for itself. That said, there's no such thing as being too prepared, and first impressions last. You'll want to be wearing your very best when you walk into the Volokshunsa. It would be such a shame to miss this chance of a lifetime simply for want of proper garments. That it would. Are you saying you have garments to offer? something ideal for court. We have no garments on hand, I'm afraid, but we can provide you with the next best thing, an introduction to a weaver. His name is Bolnok, and his works are highly regarded in Tulialau. As a supporter of Woke Lamat and keen observer of palace politics, he will doubtless be happy to guide you in the selection of an outfit to fit this golden occasion. That is certainly a tempting proposal, and one of which I should like to take full advantage, but the scales still aren't quite balancing. Say, weren't there monsters running amok in Agave Jaws? That's a problem we could easily solve for you. Truly, I would be most grateful for your immediate assistance. I was resigning to hire cell swords to clear them out. Factored in that saved expense and an introduction to a trusted weaver, this is shaping up to be a sound bargain. Alright, you have a deal. Yes, I knew you'd come around. Give us a moment and MSQ and I will take care of those prowling nuisances. In the meantime, I'll use the time to pen an introductory letter to Bolnok. The fields you're looking for are just north of Wachunpelo. Be safe. We're going north. That should be Agave Jaws just over there. This'll go faster if we split up. Come and find me once you're finished clearing out your share of the pests. Dun 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 dun. I forgot to check the volume. No, we're good. Ba-dum. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-bam. I want some agave juice right now. That sounds so good. Fresh. Dong 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 dong. Be really cool, just this little thing for Viper. I know that when the blades are sheathed on the back, they show up as like two one-handed swords. But it would be cool if you were in like the single blade mode, if it would show that way up on your back. Compared to the creatures I hunted with Papa, this was no challenge at all. Come on, let's head back to the distillery. All that's left is to give Mablu the sack of leaves so she can seal the deal. Those monsters were no trouble for you, it seems. Now, if I could just have the sack of leaves. Thank you for looking after our precious trading goods. Monster problem has been resolved, Master Gobli. Here are the mate leaves and a written introduction to Bolnok as agreed. The deal is done. Here, your jug of premium mezcal, aged 3 years. Please accept it with my compliments. Yes, we finally have the mezcal. Great work, especially you, Mablu. You were the one that inspired me to come this far, third promise. But let's not celebrate until we have the saddle in hand. Mablu, is it? You drive a hard bargain, young peddler. I look forward to doing business with you in the future. Thank you, but truth be told, I'm just a ranch hand. For now. Should I ever become a proper merchant, though, I'll be back to strike more deals with you. Excellent trade. Success! You traded a 5,000 pel sack of top grade mate leaves for a 10,000 pel jug of premium mezcal. Even at the palace, I don't think I've held a 10,000 pel jug of anything before. My hands won't stop shaking. Here, you'd better hold on to it until we get to the saddle maker. Can you imagine if we dropped it and had to start all over again? Luckily, Havli's place is not far. We just need to head across the plaza. So a 1 million gil jug of mezcal. Wowie. 1 million. This is it. The trade we've been working towards. Phew, still in one piece. Right, time to make our deal. Get your tools ready, Saddler. We've brought your precious mezcal. Wait, you actually got your hands on a jug? But you had nothing. A few measly clumps of wool. What we had was an aspiring trader with a gift for negotiation. Although I'd sooner aid no claimant but Zoral Ja, I cannot go against the guiding principles of the Pelu Pelu. The trade is a fair one. I will craft your saddle, third promise. Great. Stay and wait if you like. I have all the requisite materials, so this won't take long. Your commission is ready. Catching a wild alpaca is never a simple affair, but you'll have an easier time of it with one of my saddles. Now, if you don't mind, I have other work that needs finishing. I can taste that smooth mezcal already. We did it! The saddle is ours! To think, we started out with only 100 pel basket of alpaca wool. Mablu, you are going to be an incredible merchant. Thank you. It makes me so glad to hear you say that, third promise. We got what we came for, so let's return to the ranch. The others will be waiting. Taming saddle. You traded a 10,000 pel jug of premium mezcal for a taming saddle. You've acquired the saddle then? Yes, and thanks in no small part to Mablu. Before you rush off to catch an alpaca, though, let me teach you how to saddle one. I'll bring out one of our wild-born friends so you can practice. I know. This is something I need to learn. Great sunken gods, I did it! He hardly seemed bothered, much less inclined to spit, as if he was completely accepting of Lamat's touch. That is because of the singular scent with which the saddle has been coated. Alpacas find it very soothing. You know, I've never taken a good long look at one of you before, but you're actually kind of cute. You're not only noticing now that... What the hell did I just say? Zaralja, he's back. Is that a golden alpaca? Having done exactly what he set out to do. That alpaca he's brought, is it just me or is it glowing? I've heard tales of such a beast. They say the golden alpaca lives a solitary existence deep in the valley, where it shuns the company of both man and its own kind. How did he manage to snare a prize like that? Beast knows its betters. Faced with overwhelming strength, it will yield rather than risk death. An apt illustration of how greatly the power of the first promise exceeds yours, Lamat. Strength alone won't win him our father's throne. I'll be the one to find the Golden City, and then Tural can remain at peace. An everlasting desire for peace can only be forged in the fires of war. To unite as one, the people must be taught. They must suffer the horror and the hopelessness firsthand. Exhaustion from prolonged conflict, the wages of war's merciless nature. These are what moved the clans to join in the founding of Tulialal all those years ago. Consider the younger generation of this village. Since birth have they basked in unbroken harmony, and behold, they regard war not as tragedy but opportunity. Thus does the resilient son seek to provide education. He offers much-needed lessons in the realities of the conquest and a renewed appreciation for peacetime. 'Tis true that war's misery breeds a longing for peace. But I have seen with my own eyes what becomes of an empire forged through the violence you propose, the rebellions it spawned, and the ruins it left behind. The Garlean Empire was a congregation of simpletons. The oppressed fought back against their oppressors, as well they should. Men are not beasts. Only a fool would seek to rule over all with the threat of force alone. This is why Gulul Jaja did not elevate the Mumulja, why he treated all clans with equal respect. However, the first promise has his gaze fixed upon more distant horizons. He would unite only Tulerial, but the star in its entirety. What? Why? I need not explain myself to you. Oh, well done indeed. The first promise has completed the feat of gold with an appropriately golden flourish. May I present to you your much-deserved keystone? He's always been like that, never sharing his innermost thoughts with me or even with Kona. It's like we're not even family. Who's busty ass chocobos in my way right now? I'll ponder Zoralja and his mysteries later. Right now, I need to think about finishing the feat of gold. I have my saddle, I've practiced how to use it, so lead onward to the wild alpacas roam. The valley of Orunkaka is the... Kanka, not Kaka. The valley of Orunkanka is the northwest of here. Come on, everyone. Even if we can't enter ourselves, we can see Lamat off on her hunt. We're not too far off. I do appreciate the variety of vegetation and everything out here. All the flora. I can do this. I know I can.
Good luck there, Promise!
Thanks. I'll need it. Truth be told, still not sure about alpacas. I'd rather not go near one if I can help it. But if I'm to rule this nation, then I'll need to learn how to live with them. Tural is their home too. Right. I'm off.
So, shall we head back to the ranch, or...?
I'm staying here.
As will I. Lamat is alone in this. The least we can do is stand watch and await her return.
It may be a while yet. Help me pitch the tent.
Trust a gleaner to come prepared for anything.
What's a gleaner?
Someone whose job it is to travel the world and procure uncommon things for their employers. Erenville specializes in finding animals, I believe.
But aren't you a Shitona from Shaktural? Why did you cross the salt?
When I was much younger, the thought of leaving Tural never even occurred to me. But then, some years ago, my mentor tasked me with a difficult hunt. Something I could never find, she said, so long as I clung to the familiar. She suggested that I leave home, leave Tural, and join the Gleaners of Sharlian. As one of their number, I could experience the world, immerse myself in myriad cultures and customs, see the many faces of nature. And once I had learned what is truly important, I would find that which I seek. My younger self took those words to heart, and off I went to become a gleaner.
Her words alone moved you to leave behind everything you'd ever known? You must have great respect for your mentor.
As it happens, gleaner work was much to my liking. And I all but forgot why I had pursued it in the first place. Yet, events conspired to put me back on the trail I'd abandoned.
Wait, are you saying you were tasked with finding the City of Gold?
I was. And though my hunt is now entangled with the right of succession, I mean to see it through.
Well then, I understand completely. We all have our reasons for seeking the Golden City. Which is all the more reason for us to work together.
Just so.
She should have been back by now. What if something's happened to her? We need to tell Tobli and arrange a search party.
Wait. Do you hear that?
They did it.
You're utterly spent, and small wonder.
Well done, Third Promise.
The ranch isn't going anywhere. Take a rest in the tent.
I think I will. Thank you all for believing in me.
I'm so relieved the Third Promise came back to us safely, and the alpaca she tamed is a healthy-looking beast. Surely this will be enough to satisfy the feet of gold. Lamat still seems a bit unsteady on her feet, hardly surprising after she spent the night chasing alpacas. You know what will melt away fatigue like magic though? Mate tea. I'll run to the ranch and get a pot brewing. That way you can take your time and the tea will be ready when you arrive. As Montbleu so wisely suggested, we shall set a slower pace for our exhausted Third Promise. Came back ahead of the others, did you? I should hurry along with the tea then. Lamat can't be that far behind. Oh, that tea really is magical. I feel better already. I see you've become more comfortable around our fuzzy friends. Watching this one taught me a lot about the alpacas. What grasses and fruits they eat, what sounds they react to. They're adorable little quirks. I guess I've grown kind of fond of them. Welcome back, Third Promise. Accomplished the feat of gold, have you? Yes, this is no mistaking a valley alpaca. I commend you on your success. Well done. Yes, we did it. Although I couldn't find a shiny one like Zoraljaw did. I'd be surprised if you had. Golden alpacas are born but once every few decades. They are elusive, solitary creatures that are rarely seen. much less captured, thanks to their innate physical and magical gifts. Only a single other person is known to have caught one before, that being Galul Jaja himself. Papa was chasing alpacas too? So my grandfather's stories say. It was before the founding of Tuliolao, in a time when the mountain giants, the Yukoi, held our people in thrall. Compelled by their overlords, our forebears would ride their alpaca mounts to the highlands to deliver gifts of food and other tributes. Those were wretched days, to hear grandfather tell it. Then along came the young Gulul Jaja, yet unburdened by the mantle of Dawn Servant. Our people were amazed by this imposing two-headed figure, equal to the Yakui in stature, and puzzled by his entourage of mismatched companions. Some trembled in fear, believing a new conqueror had come. Yet Gulul Jaja showed no such inclinations. He sat and spoke with us, sipping from the cups of made tea we offered him, and grew somber when we learned of our plight. None could have anticipated what their visitor decided to do next. Gulul Jaja ascended the cliffs to face the giants and freed the Pelu Pelu from the Yakui's subjugation. He then turned an apprising eye upon our riders and proposed we take to the road to peddle our beverages. The suggestion seemed obvious for one who traveled as he did, intent on fostering amity between the clans. So it was that a few words from Gulul Jaja transformed us into a clan of itinerant merchants. I've never heard the Bon Papa forged with the Pelu Pelu spoken of in that way before. The saga is not so detailed. Then you may not know that Gulul Jaja sought a sure-footed guide for his trek up into the highlands. Thus did he capture a golden alpaca. So my brother and my father caught the rarest of creatures, while an ordinary one was the best I could manage. The feat required no more than that, Third Promise, and you brought back a perfectly wonderful beast. Mablu's right. You're a perfectly wonderful beast. If anyone's ordinary, it's me. Not only did you accomplish the feat of gold, you also made many trades and brought joy to many people in true Pelu Pelu fashion. I sorely doubt your sibling could have achieved the same result. You should be proud of the accomplishments which earned you your keystone. So this is what they look like. Go on, set it in the tablet. Perfect fit. That leaves 6 more. You're well on your way, Third Promise. We'd have been lost without you, Mablu. Thanks to you, I learned so much about the Pelu people and your customs. It might seem obvious, but I've come to realize the importance of properly knowing something. It was because I didn't understand alpacas that I was uncomfortable around them. I'm thankful to you as well, Lamat. You've given me the courage to say what I wasn't sure I could ever say. Tobli? I want to leave the ranch and become a merchant. I appreciate everything you've done for me, and I've loved every moment caring for the alpacas. But this is something I need to do. I need to walk my own path and make my own trades. As your parent, allow me to say one thing. I've always tried to give my wards lives filled with as much happiness as I could provide, yet never once have I wanted that to be the only happiness you knew. You have my blessing to walk any path you choose, Mablu. It gladdens me to hear you finally had a calling you wish to pursue with such passion. You will make an exceptional peddler, I'm sure of it. Thank you, Tobli. What did I tell you, Mablu? There's one last thing I can help you with, Third Promise. You need to find the Golden City, right? That's the end goal. Then I suggest you talk to the Yakui. They once ruled over far more than just Urkopacha and the Pelu Pelu. 1,000 years ago, they were the overlords of Yaktural and all its peoples. During that era, the Pelu Pelu were commanded to search for a city of gold. They scoured every corner of the continent but never found any trace of that fabled place. But if they didn't find anything, what could the Yakoi have to tell us? They may not have found it, but the fact that they had to look for it, it all makes me curious. Perhaps there's value in delving into how the legend originated. We lose nothing from asking the question. Besides, if we're determined to follow the path of the saga, we'll be visiting the giants eventually. Oh, Cryo! I have a question I've been meaning to ask, and since we finished the feat, where did you acquire that earring? My earring? Do you recognize it? Yes, pieces just like it first became fashionable in Yoktura around 20 years ago. Since then, it's become common to wear one as a charm for safe travel. 20 years ago? Right about the time my grandfather made his journey. Yet the Dawn Serpent implied the earring was connected to the Golden City in some way. Surely there was more to its significance than simple fashion. If you want to know how it first came to be crafted, I could try to find out. Seeing as it's a regular seller for many merchants, I'm curious to learn about it myself. I would appreciate that very much, thank you. Jumping feet first into the peddler business, eh, Mablu? Right then, let's head back to Tulial and get ready to search for the next elector. Farewell for now, and thanks for all your help. I will become Dawn Servant, so make sure you set aside your best mezcal for the occasion. She has a fearsome opponent in that brother of hers. He even brought a golden alpaca to heal. But you've heard Zoral Ja's supporter talk. They might see opportunity in his expansionist ambitions, but they find the man himself intimidating, terrifying even. Whereas I've grown to love Lamat, everyone she meets will come to love her too, and that's why she'll win the throne. You might be right, Mablu. You might be right. Heck yeah. Alright, that's going to do it for us in this one, guys. Thank you so much for watching and tuning in. I hope that you have a great remainder of your day. Like and subscribe the video, and we'll see you in the next one.